Hey everyone, welcome back. As always, my name is Oz. Today I'm checking out a game off of Itch.io called 10 Day Dream. This is the beta version of it, and this was created by Unrested. This is a game based off the urban legend in Japan called Yume Juta, Juta, where we find ourselves in an alternate reality plagued by a ghost demon girl, and we have to try and figure out our way out of our dream. So let's start. The Curse of the 10-Day Dream is the type of legend you should never read, because it's the type that, once read, attaches itself to you. I didn't listen, and now the dream has begun. Ooh, okay. The first dream was simple. I was in my own room, but it felt wrong. The shadows were too deep, the silence too loud. And then she was there. Oh, hello. The girl.
Hello. May I ask you a question?
Her voice was like quiet static. The legend said I had to be polite. Of course you can. What do you want? Go away. Oh, okay, so this has multiple endings. Okay, so we gonna be polite to her the first time. Of course you can.
Thank you. That is all for now.
She smiled, a small, unsettling curve of her lips, and the dream began to fade. Okay, so that was a choice. That was one of the choices we had to make. So that'll be interesting to go back and see. The second night she returned.
I'm so glad you're back. Will you play a game with me?
A game? The story mentioned this. I had to choose one. Let's play hide and seek. No, I don't want to play. How about we just talk? Well, there's only one game listed, so I guess we're playing hide and seek.
Wonderful. I'll hide first.
She giggled, a sound like cracking ice, and vanished. The world dissolved into comforting blackness before I could even start counting. Oh, okay. Okay. We're just on to the third night. The third night, I was no longer in my room. We stood on a path under a bruised purple sky. I love this imaging right here. This is really good art. The girl stood beside me, silent. Then, from the gloom, they appeared. Two figures. One had the head of a dead lady, and she was pushing a stroller. The other, inside the stroller, had the head of a dead dog. Oh. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. This imaging is really cool, though.
One of them is wrong. Destroy the wrong one for me.
Which one was wrong? The dead lady pushing, or the dead dog riding? My mind raced. This felt like a trick. Destroy the figure with the lady's head. Destroy the figure with the dog's head. I won't destroy either of them. I don't want to destroy either of them.
Wrong choice.
Both figures turned to look at me, their heads tilting in unison. An overwhelming sense of dread washed over me as the dream tore itself apart. I woke up trembling. The choice would be there again tonight. Okay, so if you make the wrong choice, it just, we go back and try again. I don't know which one is wrong. Is it the dog or the lady? Destroy the figure with the lady's head? As the thought entered my mind, the cat-headed figure dissolved into smoke. Cat. dog-headed figure. I thought it was a lady. I don't know. The dog-headed one remained, nodding slowly.
You chose well.
The world faded. Day 4, a desolate park. A single rusted swing set creaked in a non-existent wind.
Look.
She pointed to the sky. A strange, old-fashioned airship was descending, silent and vast. Oh, okay.
We have to get on, now.
It was moving faster than it looked. There was no time to hesitate. Run for the airship. It's a trap. Let's hide. Wait, what is that thing? Run for the airship. We ran, the ground feeling like mud under my feet. We reached the dangled rope ladder just in time, pulling ourselves aboard as the park shrank below. The inside of the airship was unnervingly quiet. It was filled with other people, all of them sitting silently, their faces pale and drawn. I recognized them, not personally, but I knew who they were. They were the others who had heard the story.
We need to find a seat.
I scanned the rows. Most were full. Finding 2 seats together seemed impossible. Let's point to the back. My eyes caught it. A pair of empty seats in the rearmost row, shrouded in shadow. We quickly made our way there and sat down.
Good. We can rest for a moment.
As soon as we sat, the world outside the windows dissolved into a blur, and the dream faded. The 6th night, we were in a long, narrow corridor on the airship. Doors with brass numbers lined the walls.
We need to find the right cabin.
Which one is it?
I don't know the number, but you'll know it when you see it.
Her answer was no help at all. I looked down the endless hallway. The numbers seemed to shift and blur. Look for something other than a number. Pick a random door, like number 7. Pick a random number 7. I reached for a door, but the hallway suddenly lurched and stretched. The doors on either side blurred into streaks of wood and brass.
You're lost.
The corridor became an infinite tunnel, pulling me into a dizzying void. I was running, but getting nowhere. My legs were sore when I woke up. I had to find that cabin. Alright. Look for something other than a number. Okay, that was it. I ignored the numbers and looked at the doors themselves. One, near the end of the hall, had a deep, vertical scratch mark, almost like a scar. This one. The girl nodded. The door swung open without a sound. The room wasn't a room. It was nothing. A vast, starless, silent void. We stood on the threshold, a single wooden doorway floating in an endless expanse of black.
We have to go in.
My feet felt rooted to the floor. Every instinct screamed at me not to step into that emptiness. Take her hand and step into the void together. I'm not going in there. You go first. Let's go together. I took her small, cold hand in mine. Together, we took the step. There was no falling, no sensation at all, just floating. The doorway had vanished behind us. Day 8. We were adrift in the silent, black ocean.
There is something we must find.
What is it?
A key.
A key. In all this nothing? It was an impossible task. Panicking would do no good. Close your eyes and reach out with your feelings. Start swimming through the void to find it. Shout to see if anything responds. Let's do this one. I closed my eyes, shutting out the overwhelming emptiness. I focused on the idea of a key. I reached out with my hand, expecting nothing, and my fingers brushed against cold metal. I opened my eyes. A small, ornate silver key was floating right in front of me. The 9th night. The key in my hand glowed, and a door of light formed in the void. We stepped through, and we were back in the desolate park from the 4th day. The air was cold, and the silence was heavier than before. The girl was different. She stood apart from me, her expression unreadable. She wouldn't look at me. "Are you okay?" She didn't answer. She just stared at the rusted swing set, which swayed gently on its own. There were no choices to make, no tasks to complete. We just had to wait. It was the most unsettling dream yet. As the dream faded, a single thought echoed in my mind. Tomorrow is the last day. The 10th and final night. I was in a small circular room with stone walls, and the very center was a simple, black coffin. A key from the void felt heavy in my pocket. I knew what it was here to do. The coffin lid was already ajar. A deep sense of dread tried to root my feet to the floor, but an unseen force pulled me forward. I peered inside. It was her, the girl, but the flesh had slothed away from her bones. Her dress was rotted tatters, and only empty sockets stared back at me from the skeletal face. She still has flesh and stuff on her feet and hands, though. A voice, not from her, but from everywhere at once, echoed in the room.
The key. Lock it away. Lock me away.
This was the final test. The end of the curse. Place the key in the coffin. This is a monster. I have to destroy it. I can't. I'm sorry. We will place the key in the coffin. My hand trembled as I reached out and placed the silver key on the skeletal girl's chest. The moment it left my fingers, the coffin lid slammed shut with a deafening crack. Silence. The room, the coffin, everything began to dissolve into a brilliant, peaceful white light. Is it over? For the first time in 10 days, I felt a sense of peace. I'm waking up, for real this time. You have survived the 10-day dream. You are free. Okay, written and illustrated by Scott Ackerman. Thank you for playing. Okay, so that was 10-Day Dream. This was the beta. I kind of want to go back through and see what some of the other choices lead to, so don't mind me. I will be right back. This is a monster. I have to destroy it.
You failed.
The skeletal figure lunged from the coffin, its bony fingers reaching for me. There was no escape. The stone room, the dream, my consciousness, it all shattered into a million pieces of eternal, waking nightmare. You have been trapped in the dream forever. Okay, so if it's that, it is that final choice. It's the final choice. The rest of them will loop you back to the day, the beginning of the day. It is that final choice that means anything between you getting the good and the bad ending. And like I said, this is just a beta version. It'd be cool to see different endings rather than it just looping you back through the day. I would like to see this expanded upon. I really enjoyed this. This was 10-Day Dream. It is by Scott Ackerman, but it is by Unrested off of Itch.io, and I will link that in the description below. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content just like this. I suggest checking this out for yourself. I really, really liked the artwork in this. It was so good. So again, thanks so much, guys. I will see you all next time. Bye!